welcome back to my channel. My name is Chermibear. Welcome back to another speed build video. How have you been? I hope everyone's doing well. Today we will be working on the Magic Realm lot. So I recently started playing with a Spellcaster in my own in my own personal gameplay, and then I realized that the build that comes with this pack, the Realm of Magic pack, is very sad. And this is one of those special builds that you have to travel to in order to see it, and also you'll have to enter the cheat bb.enablefreebuild to be able to unlock the building function for the lot. So it's one of those, and yeah, so I enabled the build function and I went to town building something that is more acceptable to me as a magic realm sort of situation. So I went for a I went for like Hogwarts vibe with the castle-y looking thing. Not that you can really make a castle in The Sims 4. I kind of ended up making like it looks like a mini castle, and the interior is actually pretty small. So yeah, it's like a big house, but it's a castle. I also off camera put down lots of rocks with the tool mod all around the build, so that's what you're seeing right now, all the rocks that are protruding out. I kind of wanted to replicate like a sort of like a meteor crash site sort of situation, but not really, but like made of magic kind of situation. I don't think I did very well making that sort of motion come through, like making it look as if like it's exploded from the ground in that way, but I like how everything kind of sticks out and looks like it makes the place looks just slightly less over manicured. I know that it's part of the I know that they are spellcasters, so they're probably able to manicure whatever they want, but I just feel like this just blends it into the floating, you know, that floating island that they're on. It just blends it in a little bit better. I really liked it. I ended up putting in a lot of crystals as well into the rocks. You'll see in a little bit. I actually cut out a lot of the working on the surrounding rocks and crystal formation thingy, because it took me essentially as long as it did for me to make the build. So 2 times the amount of time for me to do that. So I cut it all out. I hope you guys will forgive me. But well, the plus point is everything looks great, and if you guys want to download this, it will be on the gallery. I've tested it, I tested downloading it into my other save file the other day when I was playing the 100 baby challenge. Oh, there's many sounds, like ambulance and I hope someone's okay. Apologies. But I'm just going to power through, okay? It's actually really early in the morning, so I wonder what's happening. But anyways, what was I saying again? You'll be able to find this on the gallery. I tested downloading it and placing it onto a lot in my other game, and it placed pretty well. Some of the rocks went missing because I think they're just way too far away from the lot for the game to register. So if you have the tool mod, you can jimmy some of the stuff and make them look nice again, or if you just like it that way, the way it is anyways, you can also just leave it, or you can just remove some of the parts that looks a little weird. I don't know how I'm going to be able to get that fixed for you guys, so I'm sorry in advance, but I still hope you enjoy the build. I mean, like, you enjoy the main build. The main build does not get sacrificed. It actually looks really good as well. Yeah, and what else? Oh yes, I went with I ended up going with the Get Together stone wall, this ruins kind of texture, because I wanted it to look like an old castle. And then like going through all the rock options, I decided this is the best one, and it has like a black swatch. And then I decided that I wanted the whole place to have like a very dark feeling, and I wanted it to have purple tones to it. Like, you know, if you think about Hogwarts, it's very warm. It's like reddish brick stones. I mean, I don't think it is, but you have that, there's that vibe, right? That Hogwarts is a little bit more on the warmer tone side. I didn't want that for this build, so I went for I knew I wanted to match in with the world, like how the skies are pretty much pink all the time, and there's like sakura everywhere, and it's just, I think it just looks better with like purple. So I went for like a largely purple and black sort of situation, and then the crystals that are around the area is mainly primarily teal and purple as well, with a dash of orange here and there, but not much. So that was the kind of color scheme I went for, and everything's really dark. I'm thinking that if it's like a spellcaster's place, I still don't know what this is. On my stream, I did kind of explain this, or like my vision of this place to be like a wizards association sort of situation, which is the closest I can really think of for what this place is. Like, if you play the game, you probably know it's like a place where people come to well, spellcasters come to learn magic from the sages. The sages are always here. They in the original build, they do all have their own rooms and their own like kind of offices with their own cauldron, and they're always there. But there's no such thing here. There's just like cauldrons everywhere, and there's also just one bedroom for one sage that I imagine will be living here full time, or maybe they just share the room. But I just kind of imagine that it would be Alphaba. So it's like really purple. You'll see later. The rest, I do add a couple of other, like I do have like a dormitory situation on the third floor as well. You'll see that later as well. Just okay. I guess I were giving an overview now. But that's what I did, and I guess I'm just trying to make this place look kind of, or rather feel like a place where people can come together to discuss slash study the arcane arts. And if they want to have like a residency, like they want to like stay here and really really learn from the stages, they can. There's like a dormitory for them to do that. And yeah, knowledge is everywhere around this building. There's like tomes, I mean like there's like bookshelves in many places, but I didn't make a library. There is a conservatory and there's also like just gardening options everywhere around the build, for those like pots and potions that you require. You know, like when you're a potions master, you probably need a lot of like magical plants and stuff. So I try to make that apparent as well by scattering a lot of gardening options all around the build. What else? Oh yeah, dueling grounds. In the original build there was only one dueling ground, but in this build there is three. One in the first floor. This build has 4 floors, by the way. There's no basement, but there's 4 floors. So one dueling ground is on the 4th floor, you'll see later. And then one yeah, right here where I'm actually doing the demarcation right now, that's gonna be where the dueling ground is. And we are putting it together now, so now you know where it is. It's not really in the middle. I haven't actually tested it yet, but I'm hoping that it works. Yeah, I haven't actually play tested this build, guys. But it looks good, so I'm just gonna post it anyways. It's probably gonna work. But anyways, yeah, there's one here, and then there's one on the 3rd floor or the 2nd floor. I can't remember something. Oh, I think it's the 2nd floor. There's one on the outside on the balcony on the 2nd floor. And then there's one on the 4th floor, the highest floor. That one is more of like a official. It feels more like a official dueling ground sort of situation with like spectator seats and stuff. So I thought that was a pretty cool concept as well. So we have 3 dueling spots, dueling grounds, and then we have I think we have like quite, I don't know how many cauldrons we have, but it's like just everywhere. And every balcony sort of have their own function as well. Some of them are just like resting spots and recreational spots, but then the rest, like most of them have like a function and they're all different. We have a lot of balconies, but I liked having so many balconies, because if you catch a couple of glimpses here and there from when I like, pan over the entire build, you can see that with all the balconies, it does give the balcony, not the balcony, the build sort of like a tide pool sort of situation, like sort of feel, and I kind of like that. Like it's like it feels layered and it feels not like a real castle. It feels like a magician's castle almost, because you don't know how it holds itself up. But no, I think it's like it's quite sound. It's just like if this is ancient, then it's actually pretty non-traditional in terms of its architecture, But yeah, I went for like an ancient castle sort of vibe. So I went for the same floors and wallpaper all throughout the entire build. There's no difference except for the toilets, which I imagine that they improved over the years and time, because I imagine this is just an old place, but it's already the modern era. Yeah. So there is a kitchen in the original build, so I decided that a kitchen shall be here as well. I think it kind of makes sense too, because like how do you have like a place where people come together without like food? I think it's still quite important. So I made the kitchen really, really nice, and there will be a dining table opposite this little counter area as well. Lots of space for young, not really young, just like spellcasters of all ages to hang out, have some food, talk about things, or experiment with food items. Magical food items. There's no such thing in The Sims, but like everything goes right when it's like when it's like spellcasters. So I like to imagine. I had a lot of fun while I was building this, just thinking of the storyline and thinking, like trying to put myself in the shoes of like what happens if I'm actually here. Like if I'm a spellcaster, what kind of place would I be very proud to call my own? Because if you're a spellcaster, I imagine this is your HQ, so everyone wants it to look and feel like it's a appropriate HQ / second home sort of situation. So yeah, I went with a high bar table situation here so that it's not too formal, because it didn't feel like a space for a formal meal place. You know what I mean? Like I rather it looked as if it's like a cafeteria, but not really. It's not really a cafeteria. But you know what I mean? It's like when it's a bar stool kind of situation, it's just not as formal, I guess. But yeah, I skipped over lots of the cluttering because this took me a while to do, but I really like how I did I just choked on my saliva. I really like how I did the cluttering for the kitchen, by the way. I think like just hanging the herbs everywhere on the wall just makes everything look really good. But also I try to inject some personality as well. I don't really do this much because usually I build homes that looks like they are just out of a catalog. But I decided for this one I rather have like some sort of life to it, like I mean, I don't really build like homes out of the catalog, but you know what I mean. Like it's like artfully placed down. But here, I tried my best to make it look as if like it's captured in time, where someone has already been working on stuff. So there's a lot of open journals and studying things and piles of books everywhere, and it's a little bit more on the messy side. Yeah. So I mainly did it for like the common areas too. So right now you can see obviously that I'm working on the conservatory area. I'm hanging these wooden beams from Cottage Living up onto the ceiling so I can hang some lights down from it for the additional realism, you know what I mean. It actually took me a while to find these beams because I didn't know where to find it, but I think it's in the roof category, I think. I'm not sure actually. I just like filtered by Cottage Living. to find it. I'm really noob at this thing. It's my first time using it. I've heard a lot of people talk about it and rave about it. Like I heard Pagons was like telling me that this is like the best thing ever from the tag, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should use it, but I haven't used it to like this build, which is fine, But you know, my first time using it, and it's great. It's great. And yeah, I placed down a cow plant here from that, is that from Paranormal? Yeah, I think that's from Paranormal, Paranormal Stuff Pack. And I sized down the jar. Like when you size down this item, only the jar gets sized down. So I sized down the jar to an amount that you will never be able to guess. Like, I mean, you will never be able to pick it up ever again because it's just so small. And yeah, so I just made it look like it's a cow plant on a table, and someone has been studying the cow plant, and they're surrounded by the other plants as well. I have tested planting the plants, and I have found out that some of them do not germinate in the what you call those, in those trellis, the standing planters. So I'll have to switch some of the plants out before I upload this to the gallery. That's very sad though. I wanted like I placed down a lot of I deliberately placed down lots of plants, plant types that are more magical feeling. Like I placed down wolfsbane, of course the mandrake and the valerian root as well, but also I placed down lots of stuff from, I think, what was that? Outdoor Retreat, wasn't it? One of the, yeah, I think that's where we got all the herbs. Like, I got poison, fire leaf, toxic chamomile, you know, that kind, along those lines. Like anything that feels a little bit more magical, I placed it down in all the various gardening pots that I placed down. But some of them did not germinate though, so it's like it's not the correct size for it, so I'm going to have to see what I can do about that. Like switch it out for some other plants, and then like I'll plant it first. I'll make sure that they're blooming before I post it up onto the gallery for you guys. Shall we do that? And yeah, so I just had a lot of fun just cluttering lots and lots of stuff. I imagine that when it's like a wizard's place, a spellcaster's place, you just spend a lot of your time just researching. You're very curious. I mean, not every single spellcaster, of course, but if you're here, if you find yourself in this place, I cannot imagine you not being curious about the about magic, or like some of them anyways. So it's just very cluttered, and I really enjoyed spending lots of time cluttering this place, because I think I don't really focus on cluttering as much. I wish I did, because it always looks really good when you clutter a lot, I feel, but I just don't have it in me to always do it, you know what I mean? So please appreciate it while it lasts. I don't know if I can do this every single time, and also it took me a super long time to finesse every single thing into position, and it's only possible because like a magical build just gets my imagination reffing. Oh, but I really enjoyed making this build, guys. It's very different from my regular houses. It's a lot bigger too, so it took me the entire week to even finish building it, and yeah, it took a little chunk out of me to edit this in time for this video to go live in time. But it will be worth it. It's one of my favorite builds so far. I mean, I feel like I say this every time, but I guess that's what happens when you continuously try to top your previous build. So I really do like it. You see me placing columns all over in all the corners of this build. I actually go apply these columns to every single corner of this entire build. So exterior and interior and exterior both. So if there's a corner, it's probably columned. If it's not columned, it's because it didn't work very well. so yeah, I thought it just added to the intricate vibe of the place. It made it look a little busier and more believable, I guess. Yeah, I wish we had like better columns, like more columns, because this is not the best column in my opinion. Oh, I did add some plasma fruit trees here too. First of all, it's purple, so it's like cute on the outside when it's like fully grown and blooming. Second of all, I think that spellcasters would probably know a little bit about vampires and stuff like that, and they're probably like kind of they probably don't run around in the same circles, but they do research them and stuff. So having plasma fruits around, that does sound like a legit thing. So I have those there. And because this is the balcony outside the kitchen, right, I added some more edible gardening plants outside in those littler, the smaller flower pots. And then over here, this is the balcony right beside the main entrance. You access it by the gate over there. And I just added more different sort of plants and fruits and vegetables here and there. And then I added some decorative plants here and there as well. Like, I actually really liked the idea of having like a overgrown balcony sort of situation, because it's magical. It can anything can happen, right? But in the end, I just like I went with a more realistic approach where it's not like plants growing out of fake grass kind of situation. Well, it's probably not fake if it's magic, you know. But I went for more of a I guess realistic approach. I don't know, just realistic. I don't know, but it still kind of looked magical either way. Okay, this part is very confusing, I understand. It was confusing for me to watch as well, but I basically was just fiddling around with floor plan on the second and third floor, figuring out what to do with it and how to make it look nice. So on the second floor, this is what I'm doing right now. This is the toilet. I ended up having 3 bathrooms on the second floor and 1 more on the third floor. So there's 2 sort of public toilets on each side of the staircase. You'll see in a little bit, it will become clear, I hope, that I just put together. So I imagine that these ones are like the public toilets and bathrooms that everyone can use. And it's not gendered or anything, so anyone can use it. It's just nice to have like more than 1 bathroom to use. I remember that bathroom, or finding the bathroom in the original Magic Realm build, the EA build, is very hard. So it was so like frustrating to go to the bathroom there, because it's like super far. Like there seems like to go down to the one in the basement, but there's also one under the stairs. So I don't really understand. But either way, I just did my own. And then in this nook over here across the hall from the two bathrooms that I did, I added a bench here, and I added some stuff on it to make it look as if like young spellcasters were studying and doing their stuff in this little quiet nook here. It feels very school-like here, I feel, which I really like actually. So it looks as if like they were experimenting or looking at some stuff with the hourglass and stuff like that. And then also I added some magazine in the over here. So kind of make it look as if like, you know, like the students are more than just studying. They sometimes might even look at magazines and stuff like that. Yeah, so I kind of like that nook very much. If I can build like a bigger castle, I will be able to add a lot more of these things here and there. But then I am conscious that with all the rocks around the lot. This lot is a 50 by 40, by the way. So like with the rocks around the lot and stuff, it kind of shrunk down the build, or like the buildable space, by a little bit, which is part of my intention, because I didn't really want to like bust my booty over building something that's so big for like within a week, because I get like 1 speed build up every week, right? So I think I would have died if I had to build like a full 50 by 40 lot. But it's still a really big lot, and it took me a very long time to do it. But it looks really good too. I think like speaking from proportions, it's a good size compared to everything else. If it's like way too big, I think it would have been really weird as well. Like it would look really, really out of place, like way too big, way too imposing. And on the bright side, or rather like and since we're on the topic and we're just like decorating this fireplace right now on the first floor, because I forgot that we had this fireplace. And then I was like, oh, I should use it because it's like one of the most iconic thing from this pack, the Realm of Magic pack. But anyways, yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I forgot. Oh, basically it's a good thing. It's already bigger than the original build is what I was trying to say. And then on the second floor's balcony, one of the balconies, there's like 4 balconies on each corner for the second floor. This one I used mostly paranormal stuff pack things to just make a seance table sort of situation. How do you even say that word? Seance table? Basically I made it look as if it's like a ghost summoning place. And I just added a fireplace and made it look like it's just the official place that you go to if you want to like commune with the spirits and stuff. I had a lot of fun doing this. It's very nice. I haven't really had a chance to use fully the paranormal stuff pack because I don't know, it's a very specific style. And I haven't actually played with the paranormal stuff pack yet, so I know nothing about it. So I'm hoping that whatever I'm doing here works, I guess. I mean, I do use their stuff, it's just not in that way. Like, not in the paranormal way. So, but I really like that balcony with the seance table. It really looks really nice in my opinion. Okay, and right here, I'm making the, in my head, Elphaba's bedroom. I don't know why, but I just like when I think of the 3 stages, right? I just think of Elphaba as the one that would stay 24/7 in this situation over here. Or maybe she had a say in like the decorations, but the 3 stages, they share this room whenever they want to, like to rest and stuff. Either way, this is like an ensuite, small little ensuite bedroom with a balcony situation. So it's like its own its own apartment suite in a sense, well, without the cooking and the cooking kitchen part of it, but it's like you have your bedroom with your books and your table, you have your bathroom. Oh my goodness, I don't think I can sit through this one. I'll have to stop for a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Apologies about that. they're fumigating, or like ridding my estate of mosquitoes, shall I say. And the machine is really loud. They do this like once a month or so, and every time if I'm sleeping now, because it's really early in the morning, if I'm sleeping I'll be woken up, and I'm not even like a light sleeper. I'll just wake up because it's so loud. They're still at it, but it's like they're no longer like outside my window now, so you probably can hear like just a slight buzz, which I hope is okay. I mean, there's a lot of ambient noises when it comes to my buildings. I'm like my voiceovers anyways. But anyways, yeah, so we're still working on this build. Oh, well, sorry, not this build. This room. Oh yes, yeah. So this is the balcony area. I really like it. I made it look really it's like a sanctuary away from everything else. I imagine like only the sages can come in here and chill and stay away from like the rest of the people, because there's the sages and they have important things to do and they're really stressed all the time, I imagine. And so I made it look like a nice little, it still has some gardening things, but it's just a nice place. I used the Blooming Rooms kits, like this curtain thingy here, to just have it look more botanical. I don't know what the word is. Botanical shouldn't be the word. It sounds so funny, but anyways, yeah, I just made it look very cozy, very nice, and sanctuary like. And yeah, so that's what I did over there. And then this is one of the smallest balconies that we have on the second floor. I just made it a resting spot. And then this is the 4th balcony area, so this one is a dueling ground. I kept it really simple like this, which is just a couple of items, because I imagine that if you're dueling, you don't really need a lot of things around in the same area, you know what I mean? Okay, yeah, so this is the 3rd floor. So on the 3rd floor, this little narrow room over here, long and narrow room, ends up being a dormitory slash resting space for some of the students, or like spellcasters that do want to stay here for a little bit just to study as much as they can, so they can always just use the bed space and, you know, rest up and stuff, or whatever your storyline is when you play the game. Honestly, I just think that it's either just temporary residence or like actual serious spellcaster residence. So like actual acolytes trying to become the next stages or something. Or like discovering their own brand of magic or something like that. That would be pretty cool too. So yeah, it's a really small room. But it turned out looking really cozy, if I may say so myself, so I really like it. And yeah, I like to place these wall lamps everywhere. I kept the build relatively dark, like still visible but quite dark, because I think it looks more on the spooky, witchy side, and I really like that. But yeah, I kept all the basics here. Like we have the dresser, we have a bookshelf, we have some mirrors, of course the beds, and I even managed to add like some couches in here. So it's actually a pretty nice and like a cute space. And then for the bathroom situation, across the hall, this is the bathroom situation over here. We added 2 showers, 2 sinks, and 1 bathroom, like a toilet in a separate little room like that, as you can see over there, like here. So hopefully no embarrassment moodlets will be developed, but I think with the showering it might still become a thing, but we'll just like pretend that it's not a thing, okay? They can, realistically speaking, Sims should undress after they're inside the stall, not outside the stall, which they do. And then yeah, in this corridor area I placed down a round table and I made it look like it's a study spot or like a meeting area. So you can either study, research, do your research, talk about magic, talk about serious things about magic and stuff. You can do it there outside your dorm and stuff. So basically the 3rd floor is basically for the students of arcane arts or something like that. And then the outside also, that one balcony with that cauldron, yeah, that too. I added a chess table if you saw, because I wanted just more skill building items. Oh my god, the buzzing is coming back again. I'm hoping it's not going to become the super loud kind, then I will have to stop again. I'm just going to power through though, because I'm almost at the end and I want to get this over and done with. But anyways, this is the 4th floor's dueling area. There's 4 corners, and the 4 corners I just added, I just made it look the same. It's like a viewing area, so you can basically just hang out. I imagine people wearing masks and stuff, sitting here sipping their wine, watching 2 wizards trying to kill each other. I don't know why. It has that kind of vibe, doesn't it? It's like a very mysterious kind of vibe, and then they're just like judging quietly, appraising, shall I say it, praising the wizards that are dueling right here. It's cool. And I also added like a nice little bar in this corner as well, because I wanted to have them be able to get some drinks, like their red wine, or nectar, shall I say, nectar, to drink while they spectate a fight or duel. Okay, we're back to the 1st floor now. It's really all over the place, and I keep jumping here and there. I apologize. It's just the nature of building something so big, and I just like, sometimes I just don't know what to do with a space, and I'll just like move on to the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. And then finally the whole build will be done, but then there will be no like rhyme or reason to it. But anyways, I decided to add another science table on the 1st floor, so this is another one. I don't imagine this is like the official one, if there's even such a thing. I just think that it's good to have another one. Maybe like the casual communing with the spirits thing happens on the 1st floor. Like nothing too serious or too dangerous happens here. And there's a lot of, I decided to use lots of plants, like landscaping trees in planter boxes for decoration purposes. I think it works out really well, and it makes the space look a lot nicer, and it fills it up better than decorative plants would. And off to the side, on the outside the conservatory, so nearer to the back right, the back end, the right back end side of the castle, I added a wishing well, which I hope is functional. It might not be functional because I had to like kind of drive it into the ground with the 2 mod. And also some chairs. Ultimately, I'll play some chairs down, you'll see in a little bit. And then I skipped through a ton of putting in crystals and stuff. That took me like about a full 2 hours to do, so I just cut it all out, and I decided that it's better for you guys to just appreciate and look at the glory that is all the crystals poking off all the rocks. I made sure that they look kind of natural. As far as my knowledge would take me, would allow me to make it natural. And this is probably the last balcony that I have to work on. This is also a cauldron area right outside, right beside the exit to the back end of the build. I made it a little bit more planty as well, so I guess casual cauldron experimentation area works here. Yeah, oh yeah, it's by the, sorry, it's not by the exit, it's by the it's by the dueling area on the 1st floor. Well, even I'm confused now. There's so many balconies. If you download this build, you will know. So download this build and check it out for yourself. And then I went on to like do some more landscaping because I decided that just having the hedges there was not enough. Well, it kind of looked okay, but I just wanted a little bit more flower and color around the build. I didn't want to go too overboard though. So I went with little splotches here and there, little flower beds-ish thingies. And then of course like I added a skirt of this university flowering grass thing all throughout. Everywhere there's hedges, I would add this university grass thing. I do cut out a lot of it because it's just so repetitive to see me place it down and then use the tool mod to move it down so that it kind of sticks to the ground instead of floating, because I did do some terrain manipulation before we started on the build, so it's like not an even ground sort of situation. Yeah, and then over here, another flower bed area. I ended up doing tool mod magic on some of the benches. I think they might still be usable by the Sims. I am not sure, but either way, it's more decorative than anything. If they can sit here and fall in love, if two spellcasters meet here and then they fall in love and then decide to rendezvous on this bench, sure, why not? I will be happy if that happens. I don't know if it's functional or not. I will have to play test it. Or you can see it for yourself. Yeah, I'm likely not gonna be able to have time to tell you the results of whether it's functional or not on this video itself, but maybe I'll just, if you check down in the description box down below, you will find my gallery ID first and foremost. It's also just Chermibear, so it's really easy to find. But also, if anything is not functional, I'll let you know there in a list format. Shall we do that? Okay, that's that. Okay, and then more seats here, and I think we're almost at the end of the build, so let me just start saying thank you so much for bearing with me throughout this entire speed build and voiceover. I hope I'm getting better and better at voiceovering for one, and also I'm just thank you so much for watching, and remember to download this build if you want to. It's on the gallery. My username is Chermibear once again. Follow me on Twitch, on Instagram, on Twitter. All the links are down below. And with that, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end once again, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye bye.